The VNR 640 is the big brother of Volvo's regional truck lineup. It features a 61-inch mid-roof sleeper, and it's targeted toward fleets running short to mid-distance over-the-road operations. We got a ride in one about a month after they made their Montreal debut. Hi gang, I'm equipment editor Jim Park, coming to you from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Volvo has taken a quantum leap forward with the VNR lineup compared to the previous regional models. The truck offers all the room and comfort of a typical over-the-road truck minus the extra bulk. It's sleek, light, and maneuverable, but you certainly won't be giving anything up with a VNR. We started our test drive on the 640 with a particularly tight left turn onto US Highway 52 on our way out of town. So we got the tanker now, the VNR 640, and our first little test is going to be a tight left turn here out of downtown Winston-Salem and out onto the freeway. This one's a little bit longer than the day cab we were just driving. Of course, this has the slightly longer wheelbase and a longer trailer. Got the tank, of course. So we'll just see how well this one handles these tight turns. Right around there, no problem at all, didn't even cross the line. All three VNR models come with a few powertrain options. You can order a D11 engine or the bigger D13. The difference between the two is about 75 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. You can choose a Volvo I-Shift transmission with all the latest features, an Eaton manual 10, 13, or 18-speed transmission, or you have a choice of two automatic transmissions from Allison. So we've got the D11 425 in here, 1550 pound-feet of torque, and we're running about 76,000 pounds. Tanker mostly full of water. Weight-wise, 76, we're right up there with the big boys. And yet we've got the small displacement 11-liter engine, still making 425 horsepower and 1,550 pound-feet of torque. So it's not lacking anything in terms of output, just size. And it's also about 300 pounds lighter than the D13. So in a tank operation where you're, really weight sensitive, this is an engine that can still do the job without costing you 300 pounds of payload. We're in a pretty good pull here right now. Come up that grade, we dropped down 1,100 RPM before she made the downshift. Some might say, well, bigger engine would have made it over that hill. My question is, so what? What did that cost me in terms of time? Zero. I'm going to make it up going down the other side of this hill anyway. So for fuel economy and weight savings, the D11 has 95% of what the D13 has in terms of grunt to get the job done. You give up a little bit of torque, a little bit of horsepower, it's really not going to cost you that much in the long run. And by the way, this truck was also equipped with Volvo's adaptive loading feature. It's a 6x2 with a liftable pusher axle. We did a video on adaptive loading back in 2015. You can find a link to that one in our description below. When describing a regional hauler, sometimes a pretty bleak picture comes to mind. I have to say that the VNR 640 is as nicely appointed as many over-the-road trucks. This model has the premier interior package with a cloth headliner, wood grain accents on the dash, and really amazing seats. The dash panel bears a resemblance to the previous Volvo dashes, but it's more contemporary and very nicely styled. Volvo has also switched out the old orange driver display for a 5-inch full-color display. It's still nestled between the speedometer and the tachograph. The various screens are also much easier to navigate. I also have to congratulate Volvo for the bang-up job on the visibility question. There are very few areas immediately around this truck that are hard to see from the driver's seat. The mirrors are big, but they don't interfere with lateral visibility, and the cowl-mounted mirrors fill in all the gaps right beside the truck. Out front, of course, the view is fantastic. Volvo has even added rain-sensing windshield wipers, so you don't need to bother trying to get that intermittent setting just right. And a final word on the driving environment, this truck is quiet. Even quieter than my car, according to my iPhone sound level meter. In the other video, I talk about how quiet that VNR 300 day cab is for a day cab. This truck is even quieter. This is quite remarkable. I got to get a sound level reading in here with my iPhone in just a few minutes just to see how quiet it actually is. But I would be surprised if the numbers in this truck here don't come in quieter than my car. This is really, really a quiet truck. We haven't yet talked about the major feature on the VNR 640, and please don't give me a hard time for lying down on the job. So I'm laying back here in the sleeper now of the VNR 640 model. It's a mid-roof sleeper, so it's plenty tall. I'm 6 foot and my head's nowhere near the top of the bunk. But as far as accommodations go, for a driver who's spending a few days to maybe a week on the road, I can't see how a sleeper like this would be wanting for anything. There's lots of storage in here for a week's worth of travel. You've got a nice TV up there, you've got place for a microwave, you've got a little fridge down below. Right overhead here, where all the controls are for the HVAC system and radio and what have you. There's even a panic button there. If you get into trouble, you hear somebody messing around outside the truck, you don't want to get out to see what's going on, you simply hit that panic button, the horn starts to blow. That attracts everybody's attention. So after a day out in the new VNR product from Volvo, I really want to say these trucks are going to make a lot of drivers pretty happy. When you compare what's been typically called a regional truck to what we've got here, the truck I'm sitting in, this is as nice as any over-the-road truck I've driven. Certainly lighter, more maneuverable than some, which adds immensely to the ease of doing the job. Played around a little bit with the cruise control system on this truck, and I found it really simple and easy to use. No surprises there. Didn't need a whole heck of a lot of training to figure out how to use it. Still a couple of things I was a little rough on, but after a day or two in the truck, I think I'd work all that out. But really, I want to give the VNR top marks from a driver's point of view, from driving this truck all day. Like I said, the maneuverability, the visibility in this thing is spectacular. I really think drivers are going to take to this, and especially now with, you know, shorter length of hauls becoming more popular, the regional market sort of taking off. I think this truck is the right truck for the right time for Volvo, and I think the VNR is going to do quite well for them. So that's a quick look at Volvo's new regional sleeper truck, the VNR 640. Don't forget to check out our test drive of the VNR Day Cab. You'll find that in the list below as well, along with a special feature we did on Volvo's new driver display options. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with Volvo's new VNR 640, I'm Equipment Editor Jim Park. Drive safe and keep your revs down.